Leon Blumenrader with Big Hoss One Sauce, and you're listening to the best show on all things barbecue with my man, Greg Rempe.
Start the game! Let's go!
We'll do it live. Okay. Well, do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
Good evening and welcome to the Really Big Barbecue Central Show. This is the show that talks about all things that are important to the world of barbecue and grilling. This show originating from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city, Bomb City, USA, Cleveland, Ohio, the barbecue capital of the North Coast. I'm your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard here on your Tuesday evening's live fire fun and frivolity show. If you would like to get in contact with the show this evening, or you would like to follow the show during off-show hours, here's how you do all that.
You can get in touch with the show by sending an email to Greg at bbqcentralshow.com. Follow us on all the social media channels at BBQ Central Show. And be sure to subscribe to the show podcast feed on your favorite podcast platform.
Anything else you want to find out about the show can be found at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. And here's what's happening in case you get the newsletter coming up in about 12 minutes from now. A first-timer to the show, however, a long-time sponsor, specifically cigar sponsor of the show, the VP of marketing for Micallef Cigars, Amanda Micallef, makes her first appearance here on the show. We had her father, Al Micallef, a founder of Micallef Cigars, on the show about 9 months ago or so, and we got a history on him. You remember, Al, very industrious at a highly early age. I believe he was into, was it sock hops or nightclubs or something like that, where he was making $5,000 or $6,000 a week. Was it a week? He was making a lot of money early. So it was great to talk with Al, plus great storyteller. Tonight, daughter of Al and VP of marketing for Micallef Cigars, Amanda Micallef. She'll take the balance of the first hour, so 14 and 35 past. We'll get a history on her because she has not always been tied up in the cigar side of things, has done other business ventures on her own, other areas outside of Texas. Very accomplished, very professional. So looking forward to getting to know Amanda. Of course, we will eventually transition into cigars. We will then eventually transition into perhaps the series of cigars that has turned the whole cigar industry on its proverbial ear, which is the Color Series or the Color Line, depending on however you call it. So all things to be asked and answered by Amanda Micallef here in just a minute. Then we will move to the second hour. It is the fourth Tuesday of a month where we will find a refreshed Embedded Correspondents joining the show as they usually do. However, tonight we will be sans Doug Scheiding in Santa Barbara or Santa Monica, some San Luis Obispo. So no Dougie. Also, sans Mr. Positivity, Rusty Monson. However, filling in for Doug Scheiding, barbecue celebrity number one, and filling in for Rusty, barbecue and cooking celebrity number two, teasing it. you got to tune in the second hour. You got to catch it on podcast to hear who's filling in for Doug and Rusty, but they let me know well in advance for me to book 2 place takers here this evening. But a long new list of 100% Assurity questions, as you've come to know and love here on the show. So looking forward to the second hour as I usually do. That's how the show's setting up here tonight. An Amanda Micallef first hour and a Embedded Correspondents second hour. Don't forget you can follow me socially, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, LinkedIn, all with the handle at BBQ Central Show, where we say good evening to those of you watching this show tonight through one of our video streaming platforms. You can go to facebook.com/BBQ Central Show, or you can go watch the show on YouTube, which is youtube.com/@BBQ Central Show. And we have a new YouTube poll question of the week that we're going to be asking everybody, including all guests. And the question is this tonight: have you ever heard of the Taste Made Network? And currently 67% of you are saying no. You have not heard of the Taste Made Network. I'm right along with the 67%. Up until Jess Pryles mentioned it last week, I had never heard of it. She said it was bigger than Outdoor Cooking. Or was it the Cooking Outdoor Channel? Maybe that's what she said. It's bigger than the Outdoor Channel. And I've heard of the Outdoor Channel. So how big can it be, that being Taste Made? But she knows way more than me. She's got 2 seasons of TV under belt. I currently have 0. Or the next season of TV I have under my belt will be the first season. Results of the poll question from last week: would you pay $100,000 or more for an outdoor kitchen setup that included everything? 83% of you saying nope. You are not doing the outdoor kitchen setup for over $100,000. So let's start here this evening, and this is something that popped up on my radar, was messaged by somebody. In this instance, rule number 1 of the show applies fully and solely, which is what? No names, please. So I was emailed by somebody you're probably familiar with and said, hey, read the thread below. Let me know how you would answer this. And just to paraphrase it a little bit, this person has been reached out to by No Names Please PR firm and says, hey, we saw that you've done a story on XYZ cooker. This is something that hasn't even been introduced into the marketplace yet. As you may know, it's really hard to keep things under wraps, or this really affects how we're looking to bring things to market, blah, blah, blah. Is there any way you might take this post down on your No Names Please website? And I immediately shot back to this person. I said, look, there's only 2 words that are coming to my mind right now in response to this PR hack. And those words are fuck you. Look, it's your business. In case you didn't realize this, big grilling and cooking manufacturer companies, as you're doing your due diligence, as you're filing for your patents and your copyrights and all this stuff, this is public information. So if you are somebody like No Names Please, who is really adept at knowing that side of the business because maybe he or she spent a lot of time in that kind of the business, knows how to look for patents, new filings, drawings, all this stuff. This wasn't a leak. Somebody isn't narking out on somebody. This isn't embargoed information. And everybody knows how much I love the word embargoed when it comes to not telling other people's secrets. Those emails should say, hey, would you please keep our secret? Not this information is embargoed until Thursday at 8 o'clock. But who cares about that? If you're filing for stuff, if somebody is smart enough and knows the proper legal channels to obtain information and then posts about it, it's called breaking news. Anybody ever heard of that?
Barbecue Central Show exclusive news update.
Right. You get a sounder like that. Now, that's an exclusive news update. But breaking news. He or she finds this particular drawing or this particular copyright filing or patent filing and then can make speculation from there. Sometimes way off. Sometimes 100% dead on. But to ask, the balls for this person to ask he or she of No Names Please website to take down the post. I mean, you got to be kidding me. Moreover, I said, hey, you say, absolutely, I will take that down to the tune of $550,000. That's right. You want me to break my livelihood? You're going to pay for that. Somebody's going to pay for that. What have we learned in the live fire industry? A lot of you people are cheap. You'll do it for nothing. You'll do it just for product. You'll do it for a skid of charcoal. We got to up the ante here, gang. Demand to be paid what we're worth. So excuse me, PR people. You don't tell somebody else to take their work down. Leave them alone. Figure out how to keep your secrets better. Tell your trusted partners to do a better job at hiding it. All right, well, Amanda Micallef is in the green room. We'll get to her in just 1 second. And before we do that, we'll talk to you about Pits and Spits. Because we know two things. If you want something that's going to last forever, it's got to have the names Pits and Spits attached to it. If you want something that's made out of awesome stainless steel, you probably should have the two names Pits and Spits attached to it. And if you want a kick-ass 4-burner gas grill that can also turn into a stainless steel griddle, then you have to have the name Pits and Spits attached to it. Because it is constructed of 304 marine-grade stainless. It's got a fully welded design. The griddle comes with 4 burners to accurately manage your heat zones and get blistering hot. With 80,000 BTUs made with the Pits and Spits signature quality, the griddle designed to last for generations. That means longer than you and your kids. People are fighting this for generations. Now, for those of you building this ultimate outdoor kitchen that we've talked about for the last couple weeks, you have to check out that built-in pellet grill that Pits and Spits has designed for the discerning grill master. This grill, the centerpiece of any serious outdoor kitchen, from low and slow smoking to high heat searing. This grill can handle it all. Brisket, ribs, pizzas, veggies, you name it, this grill can cook it. With the Pits and Spits legendary craftsmanship, you can be confident it's built to last with stainless steel construction and a design that's as versatile as it is reliable. So, if you're ready to take your cooking game to the next level, head on over to the website, pitsandspits.com/BBQ Central. And that's the double T on the Pits and the Spits, by the way. pitsandspits.com/BBQ Central. And then use promo code BBQ Central for a free spice pack with orders over $500. And I can tell you that griddle/grill and that pellet cooker, well over $500. So get one or the other or both. Free spice pack coming to you. How about that? Cigar talk. Why not? Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Show studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
Hey, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Fireboard, makers of Fireboard 2, Fireboard Pro, Fireboard Spark, Fireboard Beacon, and the all-new wireless Fireboard Pulse. Did you know that when you use the Fireboard app and your Fireboard products are connected to your local area network, you have access to devices anywhere in the world through the app? Find out more by visiting fireboard.com or call 816-945-2232. Great folks over at Fireboard. Hey, the first hour of this evening, we are breaking the normal barbecue and grilling related format and going into another passion project of mine, which is cigars, but not with our resident cigar expert, Mr. Jonathan from the Cigar Authority. Tonight, we are talking with the Vice President of Marketing with one of my favorite cigar brands ever called Micallef. A handful of months ago, we sat down with the owner, Al Micallef, which was an instant classic interview. And tonight, we talk with his daughter, which promises to be an equally great conversation. So we race to the hotline and welcome first-timer to the show, Amanda Micallef. Hey, Amanda.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
I am absolutely privileged to have you. Look forward to our conversation here this evening. But before we get into all of that, we have a YouTube poll question and a YouTube poll question of the week, and we're asking everybody this. Have you ever heard of the Taste Made Network? Hello. Amanda? She was there, and then she's gone.
Sorry.
Hello?
Sorry, I was trying to get the dog to be quiet. Yes, I actually have heard of the Taste Made Network. Yes, they were blowing up on Snapchat back in the early days when I was still in California. And so I know them from that world. I know they've gone beyond that, but I couldn't tell you what they're doing beyond that.
Since you know, are they bigger than Outdoor Channel?
It depends on how you're counting. I don't know, but I could believe if you were combining certain social medias and video views and things like that, very likely. If you're just looking at straight, streaming TV, I would have no idea. But they were growing this is almost 10 years ago now, but I mean, their numbers were astronomical.
So as I mentioned in the open, Al joins the show about 9 months ago. Incredible interview. And the one thing that I came away with was his incredible work ethic and desire to be successful. So if you look back, being a kid, coming up in that kind of a household, like how early do you feel his intensity and work ethic as a kid?
Oh, that's such a good question. I think, I don't remember a time when I didn't, right? You only know what you know. So I can't compare being raised by another father, but there was definitely a sense in our house of anything is possible, but because anything was possible, that you sort of had a moral obligation to then pursue something you were passionate about, and if you were going to do something, to do it 100%. So I, even from a very, very young age, I can't really think of a time where he felt sort of laid back or like you could phone something in. If you were going to do it, you were going to do it all the way.
How many siblings are in the house aside from you?
So I have an older brother and a younger sister.
What's it like growing up with siblings?
I mostly good. We fought a lot, like siblings do, but we all get along really, really well now. I think it's good. I think it provides some cover, right? All eyes weren't all on you. I have a new niece. She's only 1 year old, and she's the only niece. And I feel like if that remains true, every single member of the family is looking at her all the time, right? The nice thing about having siblings, and we were pretty close in age. I mean, my brother's only 17 months older than me. My sister's 3 years younger than me. So we were pretty packed together. It definitely kept any one of us from ever feeling like we were in the hot seat for too long, which is, I think, also a good thing. It probably gave us a lot of freedom.
You're a pretty good student through high school?
No. I was a terrible student. I went back to school later in life and was a very good student then, but I was a terrible student when I was young.
So are you a bad student? So I was a bad student in high school, but I was a disinterested student. I wanted to play sports. I wanted to be social. And the fact that I had to deal with any type of class was a major inconvenience inside the hours of 9 and 3 when school was happening. Or similar to you, or were you just a bad student?
I think there was a level of not really understanding how a lot of what was being taught was going to apply. I really wanted to get their life. I was excited to get started and to do things. I wasn't involved in sports so much as I was involved in theater, but not as an onstage person, behind the scenes, doing a lot of producing and productions and things like that. And I excelled in that arena. So it wasn't like I couldn't see areas where I had capabilities, but just basic learning, studying, especially test taking, really was not something I excelled at all. And I went to a really small, very competitive school. And I think that in a way was a disservice too, because pretty quickly I was so far behind my classmates. To be honest, I kind of thought I was stupid until I got out of high school. And then I started interacting with the rest of the world and I'm like, oh, I got this. But it was such a small, hyper competitive college prep school that if you weren't going to an Ivy League, you sort of were kind of like, oh, you're not smart. And I wasn't smart in that way, but I have later found things that I'm very good at. But just, taking tests and memorizing things was not one of them.
So do you go to college right out of high school, or do you take time in between?
So I did not go right out of school. I had a kind of very roundabout way of eventually going to school. When I was a senior in high school, I time ever decided that they would do an intern that was afternoons in April, and a movie was shooting on our ranch in February. But again, very sent them to let me take the entire month of February off in place of afternoons in April. And I went and worked on this movie for a month and kind of fell in love with the film business. And the people from that movie offered me another job in the fall. So I applied to college. I got I was supposed to go to American University in Washington, D.C., but I ended up deferring my acceptance so long that they eventually had to give up my spot and started working on movies right.
So do you go to California?
Yes. So I work on movies in Texas for several years, and then had an opportunity to go to California and moved out to LA and spent about over 20 years there. I only recently moved back to Texas about 5 years ago.
Wow. So all film related, or like you get out there for film and then at some point you're into a whole different career?
So film related for probably about the first 13 to 15 years, and then started doing some early days of social media video content, particularly story content on, I mentioned Snapchat earlier, when Snapchat made a pivot from sort of being the disappearing videos to Snapchat stories. A friend of mine and I had just started doing some still photo shoots using Instagram as a format, and then we started playing around with Snapchat to shoot the behind the scenes. And we were very early on it, and a big part of kind of helping brands figure out how to use it, and which is how I knew Tastemade. And so this is probably, call it 2015, but we were able to kind of crack the code, if you will, on how brands might use this. And so we ended up, he was an agent, I was producing movies, but we ended up leaving our kind of post and starting a social media marketing agency that really focused around short form video content and experiential events to sort of enhance brand presence. From
the movie side of things, any movies you worked on that we would know, like hits?
No, I did a lot of like little tiny independent movies and things. Part of where I got out of the film business is I was forever getting things set up at studios and things like that. But you would get the flashing green light. They would never actually go into production. And then I was able to make a lot of smaller movies. So as from an independent producing standpoint, I was always busy, but nothing that really broke through. Nothing that I would expect anybody to be like, oh, I know that. Unless you like a lot of dark thrillers, late at night.
How does the cigar business find you?
Well, it didn't find me, so it found my dad. And, he was a longtime cigar smoker and eventually kind of decided to get into the cigar business. I thought he was completely nuts. And he was in the business a few years before I finally decided to make a move home. But really, it was, late 2019, so about 5 years ago, my business in California was kind of at a crossroads, and we were getting ready to shift into some tech things that I was certainly thought were the right decision for the company, but not something I was personally passionate about. At the same time, looking at my parents were getting older. My dad, for anybody who watched that interview knows, has had a lot of luck and been very successful, and kind of realizing that I was, likely along with my siblings going to inherit a lot of businesses. And if I wanted to have time to come home and actually really get to work with my dad in those businesses and really learn from him, it seemed like a good time. So I moved home 5 years ago to start working with him. And so the cigar business was one of them. And it wasn't the one I was interested in. Initially, it was sort of like I was going to work on some of the other things, but we have the cigar company. And so if marketing for our family businesses, then cigars is one of them. And, at that time I had never smoked a cigar. So I jumped in and started learning and smoking to kind of figure it out. I was not somebody who loved the first cigar that I smoked. It's months. I tried some things the fuss about, and it took me a while before I kind of found the right combination and the right frame of mind. And to be honest, there's ceremony around cigars, but when you're new to it, it can be very intimidating. And so it took me a while to get comfortable and actually enjoy a cigar.
I agree. I had never really smoked like real cigars ever. My dad had a phase. I don't know if it was back in the late 80s, early 90s,
Yeah.
maybe it was late 80s. So I think there was a cigar boom going on in the mid 80s, something like that. But I don't even remember the brands. There were humidors down in the basement, smoked in the house, back then when men were men.
Yeah.
And but I don't remember it being something that went on for years and years, but I never got into it because I was, young at the time. So maybe 4 years ago or 5 years ago, coming up next month, I was at a golf outing, and they had a cigar roller there. So the guy that I was teamed up with is a cigar smoker, younger guy, mid-30s, and he's like, let's grab a couple of these. And so we smoked one. And it was like a real cigar. You had to clip the cap off and the whole deal. So I took a golf tee and I rammed it through the cap just to get some kind of a draw through it and burn the shit out of it when I was lighting it. And the whole time smoking it, I was like, how does anybody find this enjoyable? But I took 2 or 3 home and subsequently smoked those over the next handful of days. And to a T, terrible. And I'm like, well, I don't understand this. So I YouTubed, how do you smoke a cigar? And then quickly I'm realizing, okay, well, you're not cutting it right. I was burning the shit out of it when I was lighting it, so I was probably ruining the cigar right up front. And then all of a sudden you learn about the nuance and the ceremony and all this other stuff like you were talking about. And now the experience becomes way more enjoyable, way different. Flavors are appearing, not just like shit coming out of the cigar because I've ruined it. And now it's, like I said in the beginning, it's kind of this whole new passion of mine, and be able to meet people like yourself and some other manufacturers just through relationship has been a great help and learning curve for me, and then being able to pass it along. What I found unique is that a large portion of my audience, let's call them the live fire community, are also very big into cigars, probably because of a flavor standpoint. Have you noticed something similar?
Absolutely. I think, partly because a lot of people don't like to smoke indoors, or a lot of people's partners don't like them smoking indoors. It tends to lend itself to people who have outdoor. So a lot of people who barbecue and smoke, a lot of people who play golf, fishing tends to be a big thing, some hunting. So there's no question that it aligns well with a lot of people who like to spend time outside. And then I think you're absolutely right. When you get into the food community, there's an even bigger, interest in, and especially people who start to kind of think about how you can bring out different flavors by pairing it with things, or how you choose to cook it, how you add heat. I mean, that's one of the most interesting things for me about cigars, is really understanding how the cigar can taste and change based on how fast or slow you smoke, or the size of the cigar and how that affects the tobacco and things like that. So yes, I've definitely noticed that a lot of people who are live fire cookers are into cigars, but they go together really well.
Can you give us the brief overview of how Micallef Cigars came to be?
Absolutely. So, Dad, serial entrepreneur, can't help himself. He keeps starting businesses. Was a long-time cigar smoker, but sort of been the occasional cigar smoker, or somebody who might smoke on a fishing trip or a hunting trip. But late in life, he became more of a daily smoker. He would go down to the cigar lounge, and he would enjoy a cigar with friends. And it was really became his community and kind of his way to unwind. I think for him too, it was somewhere that wasn't a business. He had previously, we have a restaurant in Fort Worth, and he used to spend a lot of time at the restaurant, but you would have to be, there was a nice lounge area to hang out by our bar, but he kind of had to be on when he was there, whereas you could be, at least at first, he could be a little more anonymous in the cigar lounge. And so he started, and the lounge was near our restaurant. He started spending more time there and became interested in cigars and tried a lot of different things. But while he was there, he met two brothers who came in and were rolling cigars in the lounge. And they spent several days there rolling cigars. And he after a few days, he asked them if they would blend something for them. And he went to start to tell them kind of what he likes. And they're like, we've been watching you smoke for 3 days. We know what you like to smoke. And they went off and created a blend for him, which is our Reserva today. And he smoked some and he really liked them. And so he asked for them to make him some. But Dad has definitely got that, everything is bigger in Texas kind of attitude about everything. And so when he said he wanted some cigars, he didn't want a few cigars. He wanted 1,000 boxes of cigars.
Wow.
Which is more than the average person, especially, and these are two brothers who are driving around the country, rolling. So it was kind of on the outside of their normal order.
Yeah.
But they say yes. And he starts talking to them. And as he's waiting for a cigar and he's getting into it and he's getting to know them more and he's learning more about it, he's also starting to realize that these gentlemen know a ton about tobacco and they know a ton about blending. They know nothing about operations and supply chain. Oh. And so he starts to kind of put together that he's found these people with a lot of talent, but maybe not a lot of great business acumen and logistics planning. Something, our core business or our first business was manufacturing, silicone manufacturing. So we have tons of experience manufacturing and logistics and supply chain all over the world. And this idea kind of blossomed from there of, I've got experience in all of this area where these two gentlemen seem to be lacking. They know a lot about tobacco and know lots of people in the industry and seem to have great connections to get, tobacco, and they can blend it very well and they know about fermenting. Could something come together? And so that's kind of was the beginning. And so my dad decided to start Micallef Cigars, and then he basically, made a contract or partnership with these gentlemen to become the master blenders. And so they oversee all of the production at our factory in Esteli, Nicaragua. They had always they were a Cuban family, immigrated to Mexico and eventually the United States, but were splitting their time between Nicaragua and Miami. And so Nicaragua was sort of an obvious choice for us over, say, Honduras or the Dominican Republic when we were thinking about a factory.
You coming on directly as VP of marketing, or did you have other positions before that?
So the first thing, when I joined the company, the only thing I've ever done for the company is marketing. So I did not have other positions at Micallef. Micallef was about a 3-year-old company when I joined. Mm-hmm. And so I think they probably early 2017, late 2016 they started. I joined at the very end of 2019.
Did you think it was imperative for you to become some type of cigar smoker in order to do your job properly, or could you get away with being a marketer and not a smoker? I think there are marketers who could get away with being a marketer, not a smoker. I was not one of them. I felt like I didn't know if I needed to be somebody who smoked every day. And to be honest, I still don't regularly smoke every day. But for me to be able to understand and know and have ideas, I felt like it was very important that I use and enjoy understand the product. I grew to enjoy it, but at least I had to have firsthand experience. But I'm that way about a lot of things. Some people can be very conceptual. I'm not. I really have to kind of roll my sleeves up and get into something to really be able to understand it. And then once I understand it, I can build on that. Mena, can I put you on hold just for 1 second? I'll do a piece of
course.
business. We'll come back and pick up the cigar talk. We're talking with Amanda Micallef from Micallef Cigars, by the way. The website is MicallefCigars.com. That's MICALLEF cigars.com. So check it out here. Well, we're talking this evening. What do we love about ceramic cookers? A few things. We love that they're fuel efficient. We love that you can achieve low and slow temperatures for traditional barbecue meats. We love that you can get rip-roaring hot for the high-temperature grilling of steaks and other thin cuts. But we know by now what's missing in the everyday lineup of ceramic cookers, the real ability to do true two-zone cooking. Two-zone cooking, very important to both professional and backyard cooks alike. It's the best way to manage a fire and cook with confidence. However, getting a two-zone fire in a round ceramic cooker isn't very realistic. Why? Because it's round. Enter Primo grills in the game-changing oval design. The shape gives you the ability to execute that two-zone setup that you desire, also giving you the other ceramic grill benefits as well. And really, when you break it down, there's more than 60 different ways to configure the Primo cooker, so you're only limited by your culinary imagination if you are somebody that likes cookers but likes accessories even more. Primo doesn't disappoint here either. For example, Primo Grill pizza accessory, the Primo Grill rotisserie, the Primo Grill rotisserie, I'm going to call it a bucket, but that's not what it's called, where you can put, I don't know, a dozen, 20, 24 chicken wings. It's called the rotisserie basket. That's what it's called. Or you can put vegetables in it. They have one that's partitioned off into 3 different sections, and there's more accessories that are coming out each and every month. So you're all covered there as well. As we always say, by the end of it, you've bought more accessories in total than that grill cost in the beginning. But I love the Primo, using it all the time now. And I think the thing that is most important to understand, where the ceramic cookers come with a lot of trepidation about, I don't know how to set the vents at the top and the bottom, or it's too hard to really understand or dial in, completely false. A few cooks, and you know exactly where you need to be on both the exhaust adjustments and on the air intake at the bottom. And if you can't figure it out, you can get an automatic temperature control device to help you there, but you're just not going to need them. And I love using the heat deflectors. That really helps too. So, only sold through dealers. So go to primogrill.com, find a dealer near you, and then visit that dealer in person, touch and feel all the different size ovals, and then pick the one that best fits your budget. primogrill.com. Follow them on Facebook or Instagram at primogrill.com. We're back with more Amanda Micallef right after this. Stick around. Be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
And we welcome you back. Appreciate Amanda Micallef joining us for the second segment here in the first hour. So, how easy is it for you to make your way into, you know, what is widely a male-dominated industry?
I get that question a lot, and there's no question it is male dominated. It is changing rapidly, and so I think it's interesting because and in many ways, just by pure coincidence, when I started, I think women. There was the beginning of this movement around more and more women smoking, and now when I look around 5 years later, oftentimes I'm at an event and 30 or 40% of the women at the event are women, which is night and day from where it was 5 years ago. So because there was this kernel of an idea happening, I think my timing was very good and that people were more open than ever to a woman, and in many ways really wanted to talk to women who were interested in cigars and pick their brain about how you could tap into the female market. So, you know, it's hard being a woman. Interestingly enough, I wonder what everybody in our, you know, sort of leadership team is not from cigars, which was hugely uncommon. You know, most cigar companies are, you know, oftentimes multi-generational people who came from, you know, the Dominican Republic, Nicaragua, Cuba, of course. And so while the blenders, you know, are from Cuba, you know, my dad has no background. Dan Thompson, our company president, comes from a tech background. He was a Microsoft guy. You know, I came out of, you know, entertainment and marketing. And so I think though maybe some of it was the fact that I was a female, what I actually felt more of was just all of us people being kind of like, you don't get it, you're from the outside, you don't understand the cigar business. Way more than anybody cared that I was a woman. You know, everything we were trying to do felt very disruptive to the cigar business, especially 5 years ago. And I think that was a much bigger shocker than the fact that I was female.
So turning the question on the ear from a manufacturing side of things, I don't think it's a reach for me to say that women play probably the most vital role in this whole cigar production.
They're a big part of it. And there's several roles that are super integral. That said, I was still surprised when I got into the business to find out that, more than 50% of the people at our factory were female. I guess that's how little I knew about the cigar business when I got into it. But they're a huge part of the cigar business, and they're actually a huge part of the cigar history. And even though people consider this such a male-dominated world, in many of the biggest names in cigars, there is a woman who is a very big part of that business. They just don't tend to be the face of the cigar companies. And for so long, traditionally, men were people out there smoking. Women, from a business standpoint, have been part of everything from manufacturing all the way up through, distribution and marketing and things for many years.
So it's not a relationship that has spanned, 50 or 60 years yet, but there is a good connection between Micallef family, the Gomez Sanchez family. How are the two able to remain so connected? Because I've seen few partnerships, especially in the cigar world, work out with any real long-term success.
I think we have a really clear division of duties. We really don't try to tell them how to make and blend cigars. We'll tell them what we're looking for in the sense of, for instance, when we came out with Micallef Black, we really recognized that the industry was going into stronger and stronger cigars. We had a lot of medium-bodied cigars, so we were very insistent that we need a strong cigar. But how they got there was not, we weren't going to get into their business on how do they get that strong cigar. We're bringing out a much lighter cigar next year. Same thing. We're not telling them how to blend the light cigar. We're just saying we have a hole in our portfolio. We need even lighter than we currently have. Go do that. And then the way the partnership is structured, they don't really have, nor do they really want us, say in how we're choosing to package, market, price, sell things. So I think everybody sort of stays in their own lane. And it probably helps that both parties have not a lot of knowledge about what the other one does very well. So truthfully, I wouldn't know how to tell somebody to blend a cigar even if I wanted to. And, while they're incredibly talented, part of, I think, how we found them driving around the country rolling cigars is they don't have a lot of acumen in distribution and marketing and scaling something, to be a nationwide brand. And so I think it's a happy marriage, partly because both groups need each other.
So a few years ago, the color line was introduced, and it literally changes the game for the entire market. What conversations are taking place prior to launching what ended up being Micallef Black, especially since at that point it did seem that higher-priced cigars were on trend at that point?
Yeah. So a couple things. We were watching what was going, the pandemic happened in 2020, and we saw a lot of people smoking a lot of cigars, but a lot of money going into people's checking accounts that we didn't necessarily think was going to continue. And so we had a hunch, or, if you will, it was shared by plenty of people on television that a recession could be around the corner. At some point, all this money would dry up and people would suddenly be looking to spend less. So, that's so part of the price point thinking was people are getting really used to having and smoking more today. They're at home. They're might want to continue this once they go back to work, but they may not have the same amount of cash that they currently have, both because the government may not be backing it and they're going to be out being able to spend money on things that they can't right now because the whole world is shut down. In addition to that, early on, prior to both Dan and I starting, but when we first started in the business, our cigars were considered expensive for what they were. We were we had a lot of $14, $16 cigars. No one knew who we were. Part of that was we had no scale in our factory, so the economics weren't there for us. So we recognized that we held those prices for a long time. So even what was considered expensive at the time in sort of 2016, the market has come up to those cigars. So now we're kind of right in the middle on those original cigars we had. And we're able to stand there and hold them while everybody else kept raising, partly because as we made more cigars, we got some economies of scale, and we could make things less expensive. But we had a line of less expensive cigars that we weren't making, another company was making for us. And they kept getting more and more expensive. And we recognized that we wanted to continue to have a value price line, but the only way we were going to be able to do that and hold the prices was to do them at our own factory. So we started early, this is probably, call it the very beginning, say June of 2020, we started thinking about how do we start getting enough tobacco, how do we start getting enough people, enough rollers that we can scale this factory to make enough cigars that we can economically make things for the right price. We start looking at how do we package them in a way that makes sense so that we can really, bring these cigars out, at the price point that we wanted. And then, as funny as this sounds, one of the biggest conversations we were having is we had all these cigars that when people smoked them, they liked them, but they could never remember the names to go back and get them again. Micallef is hard to remember, but then the name of the cigars were like Herencia, Experienza, Migdalia, Leyenda. And so people were like, could never remember to go back and ask for them again. So all these conversations are happening at the same time, but what we really recognize is we want a value price cigar that feels like a premium experience. We talk a lot about how even though we don't want you to have to pay a lot of money for the cigar, you shouldn't feel like you're getting an inexpensive cigar. You should still get the same feeling of opening the box and the bands and the stuff. They should feel rich while not being costly. And then they need to have names that are easy to remember, and they need to be packaged in a way that we can provide what feels like premium packaging, but still in an economical way. So all these things are happening. One of the things that surprises a lot of people is a lot of the cost of cigar is not the actual tobacco. It's all the things that go with it. It's the band, it's the vista, it's the box, it's the second band, it's the ribbons. I mean, so we stripped all of that away. And so the color series is incredibly simple, and then it's a painted box, which, believe it or not, is not as expensive as boxes with printed things. It's got gold accents, which does sort of elevate it, make it feel like a premium experience, but not tons of gold. So from a cost standpoint, not outrageously expensive. It's 2 colors, so printing is inexpensive, and nothing else. It's a single band cigar. There's no ribbon. There's nothing in the box. They're $25 to a box, whereas a lot of times cigars are 10, 15, or 20. But this way we get to spread the cost of the box across more cigars, which lets us keep the price down. I don't even know if you noticed, they're also, the boxes are very vertical compared to a lot of cigar boxes. They're not wide, less expensive to make, but also allowed us, because we knew when we started we were going to bring out a whole series of colors. So we could get 5 colors in the same spot that somebody else could get 3 colors in if you were a traditional box. So it was all made to be very shelf friendly and very price friendly. And then the names, of course, stem from, we just were like, what's the easiest, we got so exhausted with people saying, I can't remember what we smoked. And we had people tell us, well, a lot of times with people have bands that have, really clear color on. So even if they can't remember the name, they'll be like, well, I smoked the green one or I smoked the red one. And I'm like, well, Dan and I were like, well, why don't we just name them that then? If that's really what people are doing, if they're remembering. And my dad did that. He loves, there's an Avo turquoise cigar, and he always says, he never remembers the name. He's always like, I like the turquoise one. I don't even remember the name because we always says the turquoise one. And so that's sort of where it came from. It was like, wait, if this is how we're all doing it, let's just do it. So we released black first. Funny story, white was supposed to be, black is the strongest in the series. We thought we would release white second, the lightest. We grossly misjudged how hard it would be to make a great light cigar. So white will finally come out next year. So it took us 2.5 years longer than we thought to get a blend we liked.
By the way, Micallef Black, that had to be the one to come out first. A banger in all senses of the word. Yeah. And I don't really understand, like my palate or my body doesn't really understand strength. I appear to like, from what I've learned, I appear to like stronger cigars. So I think Cigar Authority has the Micallef Black at like a 6 or an 8 on the strength meter.
I think it's like a 6 or a 7. It's pretty low, which always surprised. But I guess I forget that there's some things that are just the totally smack you in the face, really, really strong. Black is about as strong as I'll go. Yeah. So, I would like, and we actually did a black firecracker with Cigar Authority for, that was just released, at Father's Day. And, I have to know it's a great cigar, but I have to baby it, because it's even stronger than regular black. But yes. So, and black did have to be the first one. We needed to come out with something that kind of surprised everybody. It was outside of our normal, strength. We knew we needed to do something first that would get people's attention and have them think about the cigar in a very different way, and really more than importantly, Micallef in a very different way. We really kind of needed to rewrite the story of Micallef a little if we were gonna really be able to plow new ground.
So subsequent releases are red, blue, and then most recently purple, which I just got a box a couple days ago, and I've had 2 purples underneath my belt. So for me, purple seems to be the least strongest cigar.
So it depends on who you ask. So blue is actually lighter than purple as far as nicotine goes. Blue has the least amount of nicotine, followed by purple. Purple is very creamy because it has a broadleaf. Mm-hmm. So depending on what you're looking for, so I could see where if you're somebody who likes a lot of strength in the sense of flavor, purple might feel the least strong. If you're talking strength from a nicotine standpoint, then purple would be, but it's not that different than blue. So my guess is purple isn't like red and black are going to be in your wheelhouse way more than purple as far as what you're going to kind of go back to again and again. And
I do think those end up being my 2 favorite wrappers as well. I love a Maduro wrapper, and what I've come to find is I absolutely love a Habano wrapper. I think Herencia has a Habano wrapper, and I love that cigar as well. So it's always fun kind of figuring out what you end up liking or gravitating towards. But the good news is, if you're looking for the other unique thing, I think that Micallef maybe doesn't get talked about enough is how you have basically said, hey, discount retailers online, forget about it. We're only going to be going to brick and mortar. This is how we want to support those guys. And you're not interested in making the quick buck or, selling to those entities online. So that's a great business.
It's been good, and it has 5 years in. I can say it's working out well for us. Certainly, when we first did it, everybody thought we were nuts.
Yeah.
But it's working. It is. It took some time. I think a lot of people didn't believe it. I think other companies had, and I don't know by example. I've just been told people like, yeah, we hear that, but it never sticks. We've stuck with it long enough now that I think people believe that we mean it, and we do. And so now a lot of it really is great. A lot of brick and mortars have really gotten behind us because of that, which has been fantastic.
So we have the white coming at some point this year, or is that next year?
No, white is next year. Year. The next cigar is coming out this fall. It's green.
Any tasting notes or scoops?
So I can't tell you a lot about it, but what I can tell you is it's a Matafina wrapper. And when we used to have a Matafina cigar, Brazilian Matafina cigar, that was one of those cigars that we retired when we were making cigars with somebody else, and we brought everything in-house. And we had not a large, but a really hardcore community in our ambassador community that loved Matafina. So much so that we promised them we would eventually come out with a Matafina. So this is like the least kept or worst kept secret in the cigar business, because we've been telling people for years we're coming out with a Matafina. I will tell you what's been interesting is I'm not a big Matafina person. I'll be honest. Like I was like, okay, we partly picked to release it in the fall because it's the softer cigar time to release a cigar. It doesn't tend to. But we got that cigar in. I think it's going to give Red a run for its money as far as popularity. It is. Wow. It is so good. And it's not, though if you're a Matafina person, you'll like it and you'll recognize the Matafina, but you don't have to be a Matafina person to like it. It's a great medium full-bodied cigar. I'm actually very excited to send it to you. I'll get it up to you in September because I really want to hear what you think. I think you're going to like it a lot. It's got a ton of flavor. There's a little bit of a sweetness to it, but the sweetness is a little bit got more depth and earth to it than like a Sumatra sweetness. It's a great cigar. So anyway, I'll be excited for you to try that and for other people to try it, but I think it's going to be a hit.
Are there a lot of Modafina wrappers on the market today?
No. Probably the most well-known one is CAO has a cigar called the Brasilia or something like that. That's a very well-known Modafina. Modafina had a moment probably. Jonathan would be able to tell you, but I'm going to say more than 5 years ago, right? So
Yeah.
I think we came out with a Modafina at the tail end, we came out with it probably in 2017, 2018, and we were probably at the tail end of Modafina having a moment. And even then, it wasn't like a big moment. We'll see how this goes because we've been really careful not to, and here I am talking about it being a Modafina, but we've been careful as I start prepping the release notes and the press release and stuff to not overdo the fact that that's what it is, because I'm concerned that it might turn people off. And I think it's a better cigar than just assuming, you have to be a Modafina person, but we'll see. We've actually started sampling it at some events on purpose, which we never do early, but because we want to start getting it into people's hands early so they can start talking about it so that people don't just immediately dismiss it. So we're our release pans are kind of a slow grassroots burn as opposed to just a big get it out there for that very reason.
Amanda Micallef joining us here on the show. The website, MicallefCigars.com. Visit there so you can find a retailer near you. Amanda, really appreciate you hanging out for the past 2 segments and giving us your story. Continued success, and can't wait to talk to you again soon.
Thanks so much. It's been great. Y'all have a good night.
That's Amanda Micallef right there. Green Modafina. Smoking Joe's Pit Barbecue in the instant chat going, I've never heard of that wrapper. Joe, that makes 2 of us. I don't think I've ever heard of it. I listen to a lot of Cigar Authority as well, as you know. Big fan of Mr. J. I've never heard them say Modafina ever. So very interested in getting my hands on some of those in September. By the way, if you are looking for samples of Modafina, you're going to have to wait a little bit, but I'll send them out when I get them. Also, I have a Migdalia Extra Corona, which almost looks like, what do you call those thin cigars? I don't remember what it's called. No, I'm not going to remember. Also, in Robusto, I have purple. So, as you're listening to this, if you would like a sample of the Migdalia and the purple, let me know and I'll send them out your way. No, it's not Cigarillo, Joe. There's a name that I can't think of. I'll ask Mr. J when he's on next quarter. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this first hour. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back, and we thank Amanda Micallef for joining us for the past 2 segments. Deep dive into her background on movies for 15 to 20 years, then getting into tech, and then finally coming home to cigars. By the way, Smokin' Joe, I took a look. It's Lancero. That's what I was thinking of, Lancero. Modafina, region of Bahia, Brazil, known for its dark, smooth texture, rich, balanced flavor profile, often featuring notes of earthiness, sweetness, and subtle spice. That sounds like it's right up my alley. Anyway, MicallefCigars.com, MICALLEF, MicallefCigars.com. Find a dealer near you. You can also find them online through a brick-and-mortar retailers. So like 2 Guys, the number 2 Guys, cigars.com. And if you want samples of the Migdalia, the purple, or the Modafina when that shows up in September, just shoot me an email, greg@thebbqcentralshow.com, and I will send you a sample of both. And then once the Modafinas roll in September, I'll send you out a sample of that as well. You are listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show right here on the Barbecue Central Network. Refresh your libations, and we'll be back for the second hour. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This is Steve, the Cookout Coach, and you're listening to the Barbecue Central Show.
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me!
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan. So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle. Charbono! It's all about the Charbono, dude!
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 2 feet for wieners. But listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we are into the second hour. It is the Barbecue Central Show, where we talk about only the most important barbecue and grilling related topics in the history of ever, right here on this show. How about that? Still to come on this show this evening, the Embedded Correspondents. You will see a John Solbert. You will see a Matt Osmond. And you will see 2 other people who will remain nameless for now. But you will see them shortly. I don't know if you knew this or not, but Barbecue Central Show coming to you live and direct from
Palm City, USA, Cleveland.
We say good evening to those of you watching tonight through one of our video streaming platforms. You can go to facebook.com/BBQ Central Show to watch, or you could watch on YouTube, which is youtube.com/@BBQ Central Show. Why is that even on? Stop it. Just stop it. Also, we have a YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody, including all guests. You ever heard of the Taste Made Network? And 60% of you are saying no. Now, first hour guest, Amanda Micallef, had heard of Taste Made before, and she mentioned that it was gaining a lot of steam as she was working through Snapchat, understanding that it was going to be something more than sending messages or videos that then subsequently disappeared moments later. And was able to leverage to her advantage the use of social media that way. But through that inner working, had seen Taste Made launch and then see, I would say, almost cataclysmic success. They were doing a lot of great numbers through all the various ways you're watching a Taste Made, although I just had never heard of it. And I thought Outdoor Channel would be bigger, but according to Jess Pryles last week, Taste Made bigger than Outdoor Channel. So there you have it. 60% of you saying no, you have not heard of Taste Made Network. Coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less this coming Friday, episode 392, taking you back to July 26th of 2013, almost 12 years ago, where you will find a visit from then first-time guest and now extraordinarily famous pitmaster Pat Martin. Now, look at here. I didn't want to do this, but by the way, Connie Rempe weighing in here in the instant chat, and we say belated happy birthday to Connie Rempe for yesterday, turning 97 years old. So she says, Dad smoked Swisher Sweet. No, not. I mean, maybe in the. He smoked real cigars. Swisher Sweets are machine-made crap. Sweet tip, hence the name Swisher Sweets. No. There were humidors in the basement. There were real cigars. We had this, remember, Mom, in Cleveland, we had, Dad's chair, and then there was a lamp, a table where the lamp was, and then for a definitive period of time, there was a cigar smoke eater. So when Dad smoked the cigars in the living room, family room, he would blow the smoke into the cigar eater, the cigar smoke eater, which really, when I was looking at it, just seemed to be then dispersing the smoke, in further into the air in the family room. But hey, mid 80s, let's go. I mean, can we do that? Can we smoke inside again? But Swisher Sweets, yes, I do remember that. But I'm talking about the real cigars, and I don't know what the name of those were. I don't know if Dad's still up or not, 10 o'clock, so usually he clocks out by the second hour. But I do specifically remember there being any number of cigar humidors, humidor boxes, where there were real cigars. Not.
Andrew,
I'm not talking about Swisher Sweets. No. By the way, not only was my mom's birthday yesterday, but the day before, my wife's grandfather turned 99. So we say happy birthday, happy 99th birthday to Paul Solopek, a Navy vet, a lifetime worker and subsequent retiree of a company called Lincoln Electric based out of here in the Euclid, Ohio, where I used to live a number of years ago. And he used to work there many, many decades before I was even around there. And retired from there and now makes his home there in Willoughby, Ohio, along with myself and all the other rich folks. So we wish him, Paul Solopek, and my mom, Connie Rempe, a happy birthday in subsequent days, Sunday, Monday, that being Paul and Connie respectively. Don't forget, you can subscribe to the Best Moments Show by visiting the website, thebbqcentralshow.com, and you can subscribe any number of ways there, even through email if you would prefer and you don't want to use a podcast app. Also, don't forget, if you would like to hear a guest or segment that you fear has been lost in the now extensive archives of the show, you can email John and let him know what you would like to hear. That's John Solberg, by the way. John, J-O-N, at thebbqcentralshow.com, and he will do his best to meet your needs and expectations with your suggestions. By the way, I don't know if your math is good or not, but we are now 8 episodes away from 400. Holy moly, 400. Easily making us 1 and 2 successive longest-running barbecue-related podcast ever out there. I don't think anybody can contest that. And even if that's the case, I can siphon off some of my thousands of shows through Barbecue Central and dump them onto the Best Moment Show, bringing us up. I mean, I could dump half of them over, and now we're both well over 1,000 on each show if I wanted to do that. But we're not cheating. So, John, 8 shows away coming this Friday from a magical number of 400. You remember last year we had Len and Jeff from the Baseball and Barbecue Show as they were celebrating 300 episodes. Well, John has 100 more episodes in the Baseball and Barbecue podcast. How about that?
Ooh, this is nice.
That's right. Very happy. Well, looky here. Terry in Kentucky has written in after what appears to have been a email hiatus of some sort. We welcome Terry back. Terry. Dear Greg, did you notice how cutely... I don't know if that's a word, Terry. Did you notice how cutely Jess Pryles said the word glutamate last week during your segment? I don't know if any human could say such a word with such charm. What did you think? Love the show. Regards, Terry. Well, I don't know if this is good news or bad news, Terry, but I don't think I even noticed. how she said the word glutamate. I don't even recall her saying the word glutamate or in what context she would have used the word glutamate. But lucky for you, I record all my shows, of course. So I went back and I listened for the word glutamate, and it sounded something like this.
Glutamate?
Glutamate. All right, now we're going to do what I call an A-B comparison. I'm going to say the word, and then we're going to play Jess saying the word, and then I'm going to say the word, and then Jess is going to say the word. And here's what I think is going to happen, Terry. Once you hear this, you will realize that we actually sound almost the same. I'll start. Glutamate.
Glutamate?
Glutamate.
Glutamate?
Glutamate.
Glutamate?
And glutamate.
Glutamate?
Now, Terry.
Terry?
If you didn't know, I don't want to break down the fourth wall or ruin some kind of weirdo fantasy that you might have, but the breaking news is this. Jess Pryles is originally from Australia, where they have an accent, much like people from Australia probably think that we have an accent, or people from Alabama think that people from Ohio have an accent, or people from Ohio think that people from Texas have an accent. You see where I'm going, Terry?
Terry?
There was once a great line in a movie called Staying Alive that featured John Travolta as Broadway dancer hopeful Tony Manero. And he made some offhanded comment about some English lady sounding so sophisticated because of her accent. And this lady who was in love with Tony Manero, but Tony didn't realize until the end of the movie, Jackie, said, well, you know, if accents were some indicator of intelligence, Tony, then you would be a genius. Because he had a Brooklyn accent, whatever the hell accent he had in the show. New York City accent. Let's say it like that. I don't know what it was specifically, what borough it was. What a great line delivered by Jackie. We love you. So, Terry, I missed it.
Terry?
Thank you for pointing it out. I say glutamate. You say...
Glutamate?
I think it sounds pretty much the same. Always remember, I do have the unique ability to go back and grab anything on any show at any given moment if I am taken to task. Because we record every word of the show. As the Embedded Correspondents file in, I will talk to you quickly about Big Papa Smokers. You know, gang, whether you're chasing grand championships or just aiming to impress your backyard cookout pals, Big Papa Smokers has the rubs that deliver results. Bottom line. Trusted by competition pros and weekend grillers alike, our award-winning lineup like Sweet Money, Competition Brisket and Steak, Cash Cow, Cattle Prot, bring bold, proven flavors that win in the cul-de-sac and win on the competition circuit and win on TV shows and win at life. And for a limited time, they've brought back a fan favorite, Cucaracha, a fiery kick that turns up the heat on any cook. Barbecue Central Show listeners, pay attention. This one's for you. Use promo code BBQ Central 25. That's BBQ Central 25 at checkout for free ground shipping now through October 31st. That's Halloween. Order all your cucarachas now and hand them out for Halloween candy. That would be a delight. Again, that's promo code BBQ Central 25 all together. BBQ Central 25 at checkout for free ground shipping now through Halloween of 2025. We're back with some of the stalwart embedded correspondents and some of the new warts.
Howard Stern,
oh
Jim
my
Rowe,
God.
Dan Patrick, and
Just wait a goddamn minute. We're doing this at my time, pal. So, We have two of the stalwarts and two of the new warts in the Embedded Correspondence segment. I will reveal them momentarily. One of them is a little late loading in. Yeeks. But I see the other three. And now we will rejoin the Embedded Correspondent. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
Telling you got things on automation. You got to be ready. Can't be messing around nonsensically. This portion of the show being brought to you by Pit Barrel, the most unbelievable outdoor cooking device on the planet. Currently available in 3 sizes with a host of accessories. Doesn't matter if you're a beginner or professional, it's a cooker you want to add to the arsenal. Visit pitbarrelcooker.com and tell them the Barbecue Central Show sent you. Tonight, it is the 4th Tuesday in the second hour, and of course, the 4th Tuesday in the second hour means a visit from the Embedded Correspondents, and we welcome them in right now. And I apologize because Amanda Micallef still seems to be showing just to the right of me. That is not supposed to be Amanda Micallef. That is supposed to be somebody else who I guess is filing in a little late and will remain nameless. But just to the right of the frozen and famous Amanda Micallef is our pal John Solberg from the great state of Michigan, executive producer of the Barbecue Central Show. And oh, look at that below me. YouTube media sensation and my best friend and not yours, almost at 4 million YouTube subscribers, Sam the Cooking Guy. And just to the right of Sam the Cooking Guy, the Embedded Correspondent from Tennessee, Matt Osman. And look at this guy filing it in just on time, our pal from Phillips Barbecue Co., Rashid Phillips, filling in. So Rashid is where Doug would be, and Sam is where Rusty would be. And before we get into the before we get into the 100% Assurity questions, we have a YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody, including all guests. And you are all guests, this is. So we'll start with you, Rashid. Have you ever heard of the Taste Made Network?
Yes.
Yes, all right. John, Taste Made Network.
No.
Sam, Taste Made Network.
100% yes.
And Matt, Taste Made Network.
Yeah, man. It comes on Samsung TV.
All right. And I am a no. 62% of the YouTube voting public says no. They were not aware of the Taste Made Network. So more Embedded Correspondents tonight aware of Taste Made than not. All right. So we have a fresh list of 100% Assurity questions for the two non-normal Embedded Correspondents sitting in. That would be Rashid.
Non-normal?
Non-normal. Non-usual?
Non-normal. I'm not sure. Rashid, how do you feel about that?
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm almost insulted, but I don't know yet.
Okay, well, as long as I didn't crest over into insulting, then we'll stop there. For the folks that typically you don't see in the Embedded Correspondent segments, that being Rashid and Sam, let me go ahead and refresh the rules here. I'm going to make a statement that will start with the words 100% yes or 100% no, and then I will make that statement. You answer 100% yes or 100% no. If, after we all go through answering yes or no, we would like to dive into that topic a little further for some more insight, then we'll certainly circle back and do all of that. So that's how we play these. And we are off and running. Rashid, we'll start with you. Rashid, 100% yes or 100% no. You would spend $100,000 or more for an outdoor kitchen / cooking area.
100% no.
John?
100% no.
No. Sam, you would spend $100,000 or more for an outdoor kitchen / cooking area.
Despite what some of the Embedded Correspondents might think,
Yes.
I'm going to say 100% no.
Matt.
100% yes.
I am 100% no. I think I made my cheapness on full display last week when I thought $10,000 was way too much and I would be under protest at $10,000. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, so that was a ridiculous statement, $10,000.
It is?
Too much.
That's a lot of money.
Yes. Come on. Was that including gear, equipment?
Yeah, total 10
Okay,
grand.
even more mental. even more mental. I think $100,000 is a little out there, but come on, $10,000. What piece of shit are you building for that?
I don't know. Evidently,
Right,
a big
exactly.
piece of shit for $10,000,
Exactly.
as I've come to find out.
Thank you.
John, did you have something to add? No? All right. Rashid, is there an
No.
amount that makes sense to you for an outdoor kitchen?
20, 25, and that's with everything. And I'm only going that high because I know lumber's increased a lot.
Matt, is there? You were the yes to 100,000.
I was,
Wow.
which I need to revise that. It's actually 98,000 because I know where 2 is going. But if it's free, it's for me, right? If it's
not-
free, it's for me. Isn't it? But that's what you always say.
Is it
So
free?
to me, I'm
you
saying
getting-
for you, $10,000 for you seems like a perfect number because if it's free, it's for me.
Yes. All right. I'm not sure exactly I follow there, but all right.
I did not understand anything.
John, 100% yes or 100% no. Building an outdoor kitchen area is a great idea.
100% no.
No. Sam, building an outdoor kitchen area is a great idea.
100% yes, but let's just remember, I live in San Diego,
Uh-huh.
so we have the best weather in the United States. So I
San
can be
Diego.
out there. I can be out there about 95% of the time. John, are you making your comment based on where you live and weather, or just you
I
don't
just
cook
think
outside?
that I first of all agree that you live in the greatest weather climate on the planet, and
Yes.
it's always perfect when I'm there.
Whales,
Um,
vagina.
I'm just saying, like, it's outside. Don't you have enough to take care of out there? Like, I got a big lawn, I got trees I got to trim, I got like bushes, and I got a lot of stuff going on. I don't need to be cleaning underneath my outdoor refrigerator, right? Like, it's like it's got to be inside. And I'm sure my climate has a lot to do with that. You got to cover all that crap up in the winter. You got to dig it all out. I mean, it's like it's just ick. To me, it's just ick. Hey, if you make a
I'm
living
not sure what
doing
you
a
mean
show in an outdoor kitchen, it makes sense for you, Sam, to have $100,000 outdoor kitchen because it's your place of business. But for me, no, thank you.
All right, Matt, building an outdoor kitchen is a great idea.
100% yes.
Right. Sheed, outdoor kitchen?
100% no.
No.
Oh.
Rashid and I align. 100% no.
Really? Top
And
row.
John. Yeah. Top row is in agreement. This is not. Look, I have a lot of concrete around my house, and I have a lot of cookers around those concretes. And that seems to be just fine for me. Slabs of concrete, way less expensive than stone work. Evidently, if you want to put in built-in grills in these outdoor kitchens, they cost $10,000 by themselves.
Again, I think you're assigning a price to that question, and I don't think that question was about price. I think the question was just, is it a good idea to build an outdoor kitchen?
Yes. So
sometimes your questions just suck.
In a
the way they're
rethink,
written.
rethink, I'm going back to
ahead.
no. It's still a bad idea.
In a
Still bad
rethink,
idea.
you're still a dickhead.
All right. Very good.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Sam, the cooking guy. 100% yes or 100% no. You agree with David Gafford of the Barbecue Lab when he says the next big thing in the griddle market will be everyone racing to stainless steel griddle plates.
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay. Quick no from Sam. Matt, stainless steel griddle plates.
100% no.
Sheed, you agree with David Gafford from the Barbecue Lab saying the next big thing in the griddle market will be everyone racing to stainless steel griddle plates.
100% no.
No. John, stainless steel griddle plates.
100% yes. They got to do something to keep a market moving. Should be dead
interesting.
soon.
That's an interesting response.
It's
I
not
didn't
that
think
I'm
way.
John's best friend, but I also agree that stainless steel griddle plate is going to be where this griddle market seems to move.
She's
Go
got a
ahead,
question
Sheed.
or
Go ahead.
comment.
I have to say, if you're saying yes, you haven't looked at the cost of steel lately. And last time I looked, all these barbecue companies and brands, they're into that bottom line more so now than ever, making that margin. They go ahead and flip to stainless steel on all those models. They're shooting themselves in the foot. They're not going to be able to keep up with it, much less that cost. I bet I'd hedge everything on that not happening.
Sam?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I don't think so, but yeah. You said griddle, right?
Griddle plate, yep.
Griddle plate. Yeah, I mean, how many people cook? Interesting question at some point for your listening audience. How many people on a regular basis cook on stainless steel pans as opposed to cast iron or nonstick or something like that? I'd be curious to know. I think a lot of people find it's difficult.
All right.
I think a
do it.
stainless steel plate
Let's
is
do
going
it.
to be difficult to
Rashid,
maintain.
Do you
It's gonna
cook on
get fucked
stainless
up.
steel in your kitchen?
100% yes.
Yes. John, stainless steel cook.
100% yes.
Yes. Matt, you cook on stainless steel in your home?
Yes is an answer, but I'm 50-50 between cast iron and steel.
All right. And I also am stainless steel as early as just a couple hours ago for dinner. So,
Well,
Sam, does
apparently,
that mean we're
I'm
the
douchebag of the
exceptions?
group.
You don't cook
I
on
don't know.
stainless steel?
I think regular everyday people, and this group may not be regular everyday people, find stainless steel cooking a little complicated, just because of sticking and heating and stuff like that. I think a lot of people gravitate to non-stick in their inside home kitchens, and then outside. The big cast iron stuff seems to work great. I don't see the reason to go to the expensive stainless steel, but what do I know?
I do have a number of La Crusade pieces that are like the porcelain coated cast iron, which I really like as well. So, all right. So we'll see what happens with the stainless steel griddle plate. Rashid is saying that this is definitely not going to happen. He's wagering all 200 of his dollars on the griddle market to not do that, by the way. And we will go to Matt Osman with the next question. Matt, 100% yes or 100% no? After mentioning him several times with Wes Wright, Greg has a man crush on his newest monthly guest, David Gafford from the Barbecue Lab.
I love that I'm first on this one. That's a great question, by the way. 100% yes.
Yes, all right. Matt doing his best. Doug. Rashid, I have a man crush on David Gafford from the Barbecue Lab.
I'm going to have to say 100% yes.
Yes. John, man crush?
100% yes.
Wow. Sam, man crush on David Gafford for me.
Go ahead. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. All right. Well, let's go to me.
What do you think?
Let's go to
here we
me.
go.
I couldn't have a bigger man crush on David Gafford. Couldn't. The last time I remember having that big of a man crush was watching the guy directly to the right of me on Barbecue, whatever the fuck it was, on Netflix when it first came out. Huge man crush. That guy, Rashid, what the fuck was he cooking, turkey or whatever? And he put a pot over something on the ground, and like everybody just sat there and they were like, oh fuck. That's when he broke everybody's spirit in that competition, when he put that fucking pot over the chicken, like shit in their pants, and so full man crush there. But yes, David Gafford, man crush for me. 100% yes or 100% no, and we're back to Rashid. Sheed, mac and cheese is the best barbecue side dish.
Yeah, 100% yes.
Yes, all right. John, mac and cheese, best
100%
barbecue
yes.
side dish. Yes, all right.
Absolutely, 100%
Sam,
yes.
best barbecue side dish, mac and cheese.
It's tough. I'm gonna be 100% no.
Ooh, tractor like that. Matt Osman, best barbecue side dish is mac and cheese.
100% no.
Oh,
That a boy, Matt.
right. And I'm also going with a no. When
We know
prepared properly, there is no better side. By the way, this is going to be a sidewinder to you, Matt, because I know where you're coming from. When prepared properly, there is zero better barbecue side dishes than collard greens. Sorry, they are just the effing best. Hell yes. Hell yes.
I feel
Go
like
ahead,
it's
Matt.
a cultural thing at this point because as a brother myself, collards aren't always at the cookout. That's like a soul food family holiday dish.
Interestingly, that just came out of the mouth of a super white guy.
I'm so thrilled for
Me?
Luke.
You,
If
no,
you're Ken aside, I'd be
not
like,
talking
okay.
Rashid and not anybody else. Yes, you.
Every barbecue restaurant I've ever been to has had collard greens.
Okay.
So
not everyone has been great, by the way, and some of the best are right over west of Cleveland and Parma, Ohio. Go ahead, Matt.
Didn't we just hear that you record everything? And didn't we hear
Yes.
several times on a previous episode the best barbecue side dish was
Matt.
banana pudding?
Hello.
Thank you.
Do you know
thank you.
who you're talking to? I live in
appreciate it.
hypocrisy, dumbass. I am a hypocrite. I will always be a hypocrite. This is not a shock to anybody that knows me. I'm just showing my colors right here. I am a hypocrite's hypocrite.
Always appreciated you, Matt. Appreciate you
So here's
even
a
more
question for you
tonight.
guys.
Yes, go ahead, Rashid.
So you're saying, all right, banana pudding is the best side, right? Okay, let's drop some logic. To me, that's a dessert.
Yep.
So is cheesecake a side or is it a dessert?
No, banana pudding is completely separated from everything else.
He's mental.
Banana pudding
He's
is like
absolutely mental.
banana pudding is here. It can be a side dish. It can be a dessert.
So here's the thing. A side dish is something you should be able to consume at the same time as
Yes.
a
You're
main.
Rashid.
Yeah,
So
you
are
can.
you going to take a burnt end and a scoop of banana pudding at
Yes.
the same time?
Yes.
Yeah. You know what that is? That's fucked up. The man knows what he's talking about. And I'm not talking about you, Greg. I'm talking about Rashid.
All right. I thought you were aligning with me, but I should know better.
No, I'm not.
All right, let's go to John. 100% yes or 100% no. John, you have listened to at least one episode of the Baseball and Barbecue podcast.
Yes, I have.
And Sam, you have listened to at least one episode of the Baseball and Barbecue podcast.
No.
Matt,
Sorry.
Baseball and Barbecue?
100% yes.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Rashid, you have listened to at least one episode, which of now is 300 episodes in length, of the Baseball and Barbecue podcast.
100% no.
No. Do you like baseball?
I do.
Do you like barbecue?
No. Vegan.
And all right.
You don't bully your guests.
I thought we
Jeez.
had, for a second there, I thought Rod Gray was on the show, but it is Rashid. So, 100% yes or 100% no. We go to Sam, the cooking guy. You can name at least one of the hosts of the Baseball and Barbecue podcast.
100% no.
Matt, you can name at least one of the hosts. Don't name it if you can. I'll come back and circle around to verify your answer.
100% yes.
Yes. All right. Rashid, you can name at least, even though you've never listened to an episode, you can name at least one of the hosts.
100% no.
Said laughing. John?
100% yes.
Yes. All right. John and Matt, on the count of three, say the name that you know. 1, 2, 3.
Doug Scheiding.
No. No, Doug Scheiding is not.
What?
Is not the host of the Baseball and Barbecue podcast.
Take back his
John.
answer.
Somebody better tell those guys.
Yes.
Go
Holy
tell
shit.
Leonard.
All right.
I love John.
All right.
Nicely
Very
played,
good.
John.
Yeah,
by
I
the
see
way.
what you did there.
Nicely played.
I see what you did. All right, one more here before we take a break. We'll go to Matt. Matt, 100% yes or 100% no. MSG, like monosodium glutamate, MSG syndrome is fake.
100% yes.
Yes. Right. Rashid, MSG syndrome fake.
100% yes.
John, MSG fake.
100% yes.
We go to the definitive MSG expert.
Yes.
Sam the cookie, yes.
Yes, it's BS.
All right. This is our first unanimous, I believe. I also say that it is fake, especially after learning what we learned last week. All right, guys, take a rest here just for one moment. We will come back and finish the list of 100% Assurity questions. We will always leave time for promotion afterwards, of course. Hey, are you tired of diets that make you choose between good food and real results? I was. Well, you don't have to be tired anymore. You can just get down. David McDowell, my pal, your pal, has cracked the code. Personalized fat loss coaching for barbecue lovers lets you eat the food you love, like ribs, brisket, wings, while still losing weight, getting lean, and feeling amazing. This isn't some fad. It's a proven system that includes barbecue-friendly meal plans, tailored health strategies, and weekly check-ins. So you're never guessing, never alone, never forced to give up what you love. And if you want to be part of something bigger, if you want to surround yourself with like-minded barbecue lovers who are dropping weight, getting stronger, and staying motivated, then online, Barbecue Diet Group is where you need to be. Because here's the deal. You can keep struggling on your own, or you can plug into a system that works. Join now. Get exclusive access to expert coaching, real-world strategies, and a support crew that won't let you fail. Go to school.com/BBQ right now and take the first step. That's school, SKOOL, school.com/BBQ, and take that first step, because you can have barbecue and your dream body too. But you have to take action. School.com/BBQ. We're back with the Embedded Correspondents right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
And we welcome you back. This portion of the show being brought to you by first hour guest Micallef Cigars. Step in the world of Micallef Cigars, where each blend is a chapter in a grand tale of craftsmanship and passion. Each cigar created to give you a unique and unforgettable Nicaraguan smoking experience. Of course, the new color line is out, purple. So if you want a sample, send me an email, and I will get you a sample of purple if you're so inclined. All right, we have the Embedded Correspondents with me here. Rashid Phillips is just to the right of me, and John Solberg is just to the right of Rashid, and Sam the Cooking Guy is below me. Matt Osmond is middle caddy corner to me. By the way, update on the YouTube poll question of the week. Now, 58% of people saying they have not heard. So it is getting a little closer to 50-50 as the show wears on here. All right, so we'll just go ahead and reset here, which I believe we should have anyway. We'll go back to Rashid Phillips here. 100% yes or 100% no, Rashid. Jess Pryle's revelation that the teaching of cooking chicken to 180 degrees in commercial situations was, in a word, shocking.
100% yes.
John? Shocking.
100% yes.
Sam, the revelation that the teaching of cooking to 180 degrees in commercial situations is shocking.
Yes.
Yes. Matt?
100% no.
Dick. I say yes. That is shocking.
What kind of host are you?
I mean,
you ask for honest
yes.
answers. The guy gives it, and you call him a dick.
Matt's a contrarian. Yeah. Matt, why is it not that big of a deal?
Maybe you're a dick.
Because when you consider liability issues within restaurants and who you're going to get in, because the industry constantly hurts for staff, they just say, hey, here's the FDA standard, move it on up so it's a CYA to every company, and just roll it from there.
Sam? No? Okay. Thought you were raising your hand.
I mean, yeah. No, I wasn't. I was doing this.
All right.
I was just...
We move on. We'll go to John, 100% yes or 100% no. John, Hardcore Central, a potential podcast featuring Jess Pryles and myself, will never see the light of day.
100% yes. That baby
Sam?
going nowhere.
Oh, yep, baby. Never happening.
Matt, Hardcore Central will never see the light of day.
Despite its popularity already, 100%. No, it won't.
So, yes.
It will not. Oh, sorry. Yes, yes.
All right. Rashid, Hardcore Central will never see the light of day.
Correct. 100% yes, we'll never see the light of day.
All right. We have our second unanimous right here. I believe it will never see the light of day.
It's actually the third one.
All right. Well, who's
Your
counting?
man crush.
100% yes or 100% no. Sam, the cooking guy. Sam, activated charcoal rubs are, in a word, overrated.
100% no.
Matt, activated charcoal rubs overrated.
100% no.
Rashid, activated charcoal rubs are, in a word, overrated.
Gotta go 100% yes.
John?
Rashid is right. 100% yes.
Rashid is 100% right. 100% yes. Overrated. Top row aligns again. Bottom row aligns in the wrong fashion.
I'm curious why the 100% no yeses are giving that answer.
Go ahead,
Do we
Rashid.
have time to?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the way it's marketed isn't what's factual, right? It's just like, oh, if I'm worried about my teeth whitening, I'm not seasoning my brisket with activated charcoal, right? It doesn't really taste like
But
much
that's
in
not
that
so.
way.
Okay, so
But
in
it's how
my
it's presented and the commoner's use of it, there's no sense because the layman's person in their head, they're like, oh, I got a briquette, let me just crush it and do the same thing. Like, no, you're just going to cause a lot more trouble, a lot more heartache and issue than just give it to the activated charcoal. What are we doing there? It's a gimmick. It's like it's like gut health, prebiotic, probiotic. None of that existed until someone walked
Okay,
into a
so
marketing room and said,
just
"Give me something
in
good."
my own defense, my last cookbook, Sam the Cooking Guy and the Holy Grail, available now at a bookstore or Amazon near you. There's a charcoal rub recipe in there, and it's called Chipotle Black. Chipotle, lots of flavor. The black is not in there to help your teeth, help your gut health, any of that BS. And I subscribe, as you seem to, that all that is a bunch of fucking bullshit. It's there really for aesthetics, for fun. It's not adding really much in the way of flavor. It's definitely adding in the way of color. And in I don't have the book near me, but I'd show you. But it makes the tomahawk, the steak, whatever that I put it on, really great looking. Especially, thank you, Greg. Especially when it's cooked medium rare and you get that beautiful.
What page?
I don't know. Start thumbing. You'll see it. It's early on. There's a picture of it early on.
What's it called? Chipotle Black Rub 22.
Yeah, but don't go to the rub. You got to go to the tomahawk to show the picture of the whole thing.
Oh,
which is what.
And by
I've
the
used
way,
it for
before I get fucking shit on, yes, I say in the book that a tomahawk you're paying for the bone, but sometimes you just want something fun. Somewhere early in the book is a picture of me holding it up like this, Greg. Like this.
If for whatever reason a brisket and I miss a spot that's not darkening, 2 shakes on top, wrap it up, and it's done.
Yeah, there you go. Go up. Look how beautiful that is. And that was in a drum smoker. That wasn't a 20-hour cook in a offset post oak whatever.
Look at him throwing out wood like he knows.
That did not. I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't. I admit that I am not that guy. I'm the everyman of the backdoor outdoor cooking kind of stuff. Backdoor. Boy, that came off super sexual, and I did not mean that to happen.
Wow.
Soundbite. Yeah.
But I love that admission of it though, because there's so many people who are like, "How do you get your brisket so dark? Use activated charcoal?" I'm like, "No, I know what I'm doing."
I'm not trying to do that. It's a fun thing, and it looks great. It looks great.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
the charcoal that makes that particular rub outstanding. It's all the other ingredients in it. Primarily the chipotle chili powder. That's
John,
really good.
do you have a
Anyway.
take on activated charcoal? Why you think it's overrated?
I just remember when Jess Prowse was like announcing black, and the same show, Meathead was on the show, and we were talking about they were talking about caveman and steaks, you and he said, well, that's terrible. It's going to get charcoal on the steak, and it's a bad thing, which I don't agree with. Cavemanning is a great thing. And then the next guest is talking about putting activated charcoal on a steak, and I just think about like, man, that's the stuff that's in like an aquarium filter. I don't want to eat that shit. Like, I mean, I know it's not the same. And Sam, you get to pass on everything because you got to sell recipes. You got to sell a look. You got to sell stuff.
Yeah.
That's your business. So you get to pass on whatever charcoal bullshit you want to put on something. And even have
but
the
it's
bone
not.
in.
But it's not.
People,
but I'm not. But John, I'm not passing along the bullshit like it's good for you, like it's doing anything
you're
for your
passing
effing
along 'cause you gotta
stomach
have a,
or your teeth.
You got to put. You got to fill a book with recipes that people are going to engage and want to buy. That's your job. You have to give them something.
But
you can't
here's
just
what's
do the normal
interesting.
everyday thing.
I recently did a private event for a small handful of people, and I used that for effect because it's really fun. And I talk about it, and I say, don't look at this like it's doing anything for your goddamn teeth, because it's not, or your stomach or any of that shit. This is a fun thing to do. And you can buy a big ass amount of, go ahead, Rashid.
The
guy
activated,
in the back.
activated charcoal is the gold flake. Same thing.
Yeah.
It's aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not disagree with that. But hey, sometimes, listen, so is cooking a whole fucking tomahawk with the bone. There's no reason for the bone. You're paying for the bone. But sometimes shit like that is fun to do.
Yeah, it's
makes great pictures for a cookbook. It's fun to do. You get to look at your neighbor and go, "Hey, buddy, look what I can do," and you can't.
I don't know. I've seen any number of.
Calm down a little bit.
I've seen any number of activated charcoal rubs, and for me personally, I just hate the aesthetic. I don't want to see anything black.
You also hate fucking onions, so listen.
Good for me.
I looked it up.
Sorry for living.
Today.
Sorry for having an
88%
opinion.
Of the world likes 88% of the world likes onions.
It's a
You're
lie.
just a weird
You can't
little
substantiate
12%.
that. Show me the proof.
Yes, I can.
Back it up.
I looked it up.
Where? Chad GPT.
Okay, fine. I made it up.
Yeah,
but who
of course you
cares?
did.
Doesn't matter. I'm curious. Is everybody in this group right now okay with onions?
Rashid, do you like
Anybody an onion
onions?
hater?
Yeah.
Yes.
Rashid?
John, do you like onions?
Yes.
Matt, do you like onions?
I like them. They go on my smoker too.
All right, good.
Atta
Good
boy,
for
Matt.
everybody. Somehow my ego allows me to continue through life hating on onions all day long. I don't care if everybody else likes onions. If I don't like them, then I don't like them. That's fine. Also, I hate coconut. So fuck you if you like coconut. I don't like it.
What?
There's something else I don't like.
Wait. What did a coconut ever do to you?
It's terrible. Watermelon. I hate watermelon too. It's the worst. Totally.
What?
It's the worst.
Jesus.
How do you stay hydrated in the summer?
This.
What a gallon. Look at what he's.
So you don't put
That's
salt
the
on
thing
your
that I
watermelon.
use.
No,
if I
Salt, a little tahini on there. Good to go.
No watermelon for this
tahini.
guy. All right, we got to move on.
Rashid,
Running out of time. No. You guys can talk
Rashid,
offline and have a.
the whitest man in the group. There's no tahini showing up anywhere in that man's life.
I have 5 bottles of different flavors of tahini in my spice cabinet.
Sure you do.
Yes, of course I do. Give me a break. All right, here we go.
Can't even spell it.
We got to reset. Tagin. Tajin. Sorry. G. Okay. Well, we'll reset here. We'll go back to Rashid. Rashid, you knew who? Oh, and I apologize in advance.
Urkel.
Urkel Chila was before you heard of his passing last week.
100% no.
Nope. John, you knew of,
right?
or is it Ursole Chila?
Oh my God.
Urkel's fine.
Urkel?
Urkel's fine.
Okay.
Remove the question.
Well, I can't. It was submitted. You knew who Urkel Chila was before he passed away last week. You, John.
Me? Is it to me? No, and I apologize.
Sam?
Nope, I feel bad that he passed away.
All right, I will go ahead and answer before Matt. I had no idea. Matt, who is this guy?
He was a competitor, Uncle Pigs, and he was the 2023 Jack Daniels Invitational Champion.
Really?
Matt, can you say his name properly, just out of respect?
Everybody just called him Urkel.
Yeah, that means no, Sam. He can't.
I never took it upon myself to ask him, like, hey, how do you actually put Urkel?
All right. Urkel it is.
Okay.
John, 100% yes or 100% no. You have smoked a Micallef cigar.
100% no.
Sam.
100% no. I do like to smoke a cigar every often, but no.
All right. Matt, you smoked a Micallef cigar.
100% no.
Ooh. Rashid smoked cigars. Have you smoked a Micallef cigar?
100% no.
Oh.
I'd love to try one.
We will rectify that situation.
Send the man some cigars.
We will rectify that situation. What's your brand that you like? I have, by the way. No shock.
I love, have you? I haven't got sticks.
No. I smoke Micallef cigars. Yeah.
Oh, I do. I like Romeo and Juliet's, and I just got back country. I bought so many boxes of Cubans with me too, so gonna have a field day with those.
Ooh, shh, don't say that out loud. Don't say that out loud.
I'll say it out loud. Let them come find me.
That's
Those are
right.
those things.
Sam, 100%.
What? It's because I'm Jewish, right? Why are you doing that?
Nevertheless, I got to figure out how I want to ask this.
Oh, go ahead. My feelings won't be hurt.
John, 100% yes or 100% no. Matt has heard from Sam the cooking guy about paying up since last month.
I'm going to go 100% no.
No. Rashid, Matt has heard from Sam the cooking guy about paying up since last month.
I'm gonna go 100% no.
No. Sam, Matt has heard from you about paying up since last month.
No, the question is, I have heard from Matt.
Yes?
Maybe onions are your issue. You can't speak. No, I have not. Mind you, I not maybe not have checked that part of Instagram that I learned about from you.
I know.
Yeah.
So Matt, no connection has been made. Now going on 60 days. Is there interest compounding on $2,000 that you owe him?
Yes, it should be.
I hope not. But as the only EC that Sam's account doesn't follow, no.
Oh.
No.
I don't.
Wow. Smack in the face.
Now, what is it? I'm here right now.
So let me get this right.
Where am I going?
You are welching on a bet, and then you have the balls to smack Sam in the face for not following your Instagram account? You got some set on you.
But
what a punk.
Here's the thing. It makes sense as to why it went to his request folder and not directly into a more popular feed.
Yeah.
Now, tell me what I'm following. I'll give you it right now.
Blinkies offset BBQ __.
Ugh.
Blinkies?
Yeah, like my eyes.
BLNK
BLINKYS. YS. Blinkies offset BBQ.
Offset,
__.
2,240 and now 2,241.
And now,
there you go.
Now we can start the repayment process. Monthly payments. All right.
There we go.
You're giving the side eye in your photo here. I love it. It's a good thing.
Matt, 100% yes or 100% or no? I guess we should go back to Sam since we were going to start with him on the last one. 100% yes or 100% no? Sam, Doug has sorry, wrong question.
Doug?
Traeger stock will break the $3 mark in 2025.
Wait, what? Can you reword that question?
Yes. Traeger stock will break the $3 mark in 2025. Yes or no?
You're asking me?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was a fucked up. No, it's not going to.
Matt?
Sure. 100% yes. Why not? Let them break $3.
Let them. Traeger stock will break $3 in 2025. 100% yes or 100% no, Rashid?
100% no.
Nope. Johnny Boy?
100% no.
And they're going to hope they can get to $1.380, let alone $3. Give me a break.
Don't look. Everybody's in business.
Make room for the
business.
Traeger apologist, everybody. Sam, go ahead.
No, I'm saying everybody's in business to be in business. You don't have to shit on them just because you have a thing about their CEO.
All right.
Just back off.
I don't have.
I'm not.
I don't have a thing
I
about
said
their
no.
CEO.
I said they're not going to. I said that no, they're not going to break $3.
Okay.
But the
So
way
did
you
I.
put these
But
things
I'm the asshole.
It's the way you
Rashid
put
said
these
no.
things. It's the.
No, I don't think they're gonna. I
it's-
don't think it's all Jeremy's fault. I mean, if I were to put out a smoker that costs more than a used Honda Civic, I wouldn't expect my business to go well either. Or if I
Listen.
agreed and signed off on my marketing team and got it through legal and signed all of those people's paychecks, and then still allowed them to tell people,
No.
come buy these
Rashid.
scraps and waste. Are you
Rashid,
kidding me?
it's not that.
It's ridiculous. Like, how are you still CEO? If I'm the board, I have your ass handed to me the next day. Everybody's
John's gonna have a
fired.
heart
But no,
attack.
let's go ahead and sell some. You know what's next? I got you guys exclusive right here. Everybody tune in 2026.
Wait.
Traeger, they're
Wait.
making waves.
Barbecue Central
Drum roll.
Show
Ready?
exclusive news update.
Greg Rampy reporting from the breaking news desk here in Cleveland, Ohio, where we go to Rashid Phillips with this breaking report.
Coming in live at you now before anyone else hears it. Next year, you can get Wilson pellets brought to you by Traeger. They're repurposing basketballs, baseballs, soccer balls, footballs. They're not stopping at bats, people. Get that real NBA court flavor in your food. Scraps and waste is not what I want to hear with anything going near my food. But
Listen,
what do I
I'm
know?
not
just
an
read Buster
apologist,
Rogers.
but Greg just
No.
hates them.
Stop. Don't talk. I haven't even talked
You do,
one
it's
thing.
true.
Leave me out of this.
You don't have to talk one thing. Everybody knows how you
Holy
feel about Traeger.
Wow. I mean, the boomerang
Admit
is
it.
fast and furious here. I've said
on.
zero things other than agreeing
You
with you.
don't have to say anything. Everybody knows. You wear it like a scarf.
This guy, he said everything. I didn't say anything.
Nothing to do with him.
All right.
And by the way,
Matt,
certain
how can that
basketballs
be?
aren't going to make good pellets.
Yeah, I
Rashid.
agree with that.
I get your
All right.
point, but
100% yes or 100% no, Matt? Doug has already tried and subsequently given away the grill fighter brush we talked about last month.
Ooh. Yeah, 100% yes.
All right. Rashid, Doug Scheiding has already tried and subsequently given away the grill fighter brush we talked about last month.
100% no.
John?
I'm going to go 100% no.
No. You know, Doug loves all kinds of grill brushes. Sam, 100% yes or 100% no. Doug Scheiding has already tried and subsequently given away the grill fighter brush we talked about last month.
I'm going to go with my boy John. 100% no.
No. Also, Rashid said no.
Well,
we don't
I
like him
just
that much
followed
ever
him.
since he shared.
No, I just followed him. I've already said nice things about Rashid. Jesus, man. You're the worst, meanest host ever.
I am going to. You're like 7 years old?
6 on a good day.
All right. I'm going to answer for myself and for Doug 100% yes or 100% no. The Doug has already tried and subsequently given away the grill fighter brush we talked about last month. The answer is 100% yes. He has. He couldn't have given it away fast enough, according to our conversation. So he bought it like minutes after the show ended last month, and it is already in somebody else's hands.
Wait, why did he give it away? Did he not like it?
He didn't like it. Now I have it. I find it to be very useful. John, you have it. Do you have any thoughts?
I'm driving the hell out of it to see if I can destroy it because that's what I want to do with stuff. And so far, I'm like, I love this thing, and I even hate to admit it because I don't want to love anything, especially not Traeger. Oh, sorry. It's like, I don't want to love anything, but I love that freaking grill brush. I'm burning stuff. I'm cranking the grill up to 1100 degrees, and I'm like, this thing is like, no, I'm in love with that brush.
I firmly believe that this might be the last grill brush that I ever own. And if not, one more will get me through the rest of my what might be 20 years left, according to whatever the male mortal statistic is these days at 72. So I'm a big fan. Doug hated it. Doug hated it.
It's because he doesn't eat onions.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sam. Doug eats onions.
No, talking about
Doug doesn't like egg yolks.
Oh, sorry.
Doug doesn't
First
like
time.
runny egg yolks.
Yeah. Doug
Why
doesn't
do I
like a
give
lot of
shit
things.
if Doug likes egg yolks.
Yeah, Doug,
what the hell is it even relevant
Because
here?
when you've had
Doug doesn't like it.
with him.
We're just throwing stuff up against the wall at this point. We're getting to the end. Please. We'll get there. We'll get there, I promise. We'll go back to Rashid. Rashid, 100% yes or 100% no. Low key. John Solberg is the best follow on Instagram.
100% no.
Sam, John Solberg, best follow on Instagram. Low key.
Love you, John. Of course not. No.
Right?
No
Matt,
offense.
John Solberg, low key, best follow on Instagram.
100% yes.
By the way,
I just fucking followed you.
By the way, John Solberg.
Should I take it back?
100% low key. John Solberg is the best follow on Instagram. There's no arguing about it. I mean, it's unbelievable what he's doing. He's doing things that nobody's doing on Instagram right now. 100% yes or 100% no. John, you have heard of the band Winger before.
I'm gonna go no because I'm not 100%. So.
Sam?
No. Winger. Do you know how old I am? I barely heard
62.
of anything. Nope. Keep going, buddy.
64.
3.
Keep going, buddy.
We're done. Matt, 100% yes or 100% no. You have heard of Winger.
For clarity, before the show that you mentioned it? Or
Yes.
It's
Yes,
no,
before.
100% no.
Wow. Well, Rashid, 100% yes or 100% no. You have heard of the song Winger before. Or you have heard of the band
Winger, not
you have
strong.
heard of the band Winger before.
Yeah, 100% no.
Well, I got bad news, gang. This next question is really going to suck.
Wait, why are we at? Wait, look, can we get to the genesis of the Winger question though?
Well, yeah, I had Jess Pryles on the show last week in her quarterly segment, and it's become a tradition that at the end of the segment, I pick a song or I pick a band, and I say between this band, these two songs, which is the better song, and then she's got to guess what I think is the better song. And most of the time, she's wrong. Sometimes she's right. Last week was Winger, and I could see her face just glaze over like everybody's just did when I asked if you guys know Winger. She's like, I said, what song is better? Which is the next question, by the way. And she's like, I don't think I've ever heard of the band or those songs. And I said, where am I living? Like, this was a hair metal band. They were hugely popular. They had a Sexually Indecent song that was their most popular song for months, if not years. And
I'm going to go with months.
No idea.
Okay.
Probably go ahead. Generations. Here's the next. Here's the next question. Here's the next question. Matt, 100% yes or 100% no. Referencing the band Winger, you have heard of their song 17 before.
100% no.
Wow. Rashid, you've heard of 17?
100% no.
John?
Oddly, I never heard of the band, but yeah, that song's in my head right this second.
Oh, you've heard of... Okay.
No, wait a sec.
Wow.
Let's just know that
Crazy.
there was a song called 17 by
Winger.
Wait, no. Janisine.
Who?
17. John, are you thinking of that one?
No.
I didn't do it very well, but
No,
you could
when
look
he
it
said
up.
hair band, as soon as he
You
said
got
hair
that?
band, she's always 17.
You know this song?
This is the song.
Yeah.
You don't know that
Janisine,
song?
by the way.
No.
Yeah, no. You can ask me, but I'm going to say no. I don't know
Wow.
what the fuck.
All right. Well, John
knows. I don't know this
Sam
song.
does not know. And Matt, you did not know, right?
No.
All right.
I have heard the song, though, now that you played it.
Now, the real question was the song 17 is better than Headed for a Heartbreak, but if you didn't know 17, you definitely don't know Headed for a Heartbreak.
Another
and the answer
question?
is yes. Of course, it was better. Last
More
question.
than miles away?
Last question. We'll go to Rashid to end it. Sheed, proving that my hypocrisy knows no bounds. I have used the Hardcore Carnivore everyday carry steak knife in the past 30 days.
Oof. 100% yes.
John, I have used the carry steak knife in the last 30 days.
For another month, keeping my streak, I'm going with 100% no. You have not used it.
Sam, I've used the everyday carry steak knife over the last 30 days.
Fuck no. And by the way, no offense, but who would? Who's carrying their own steak knife out to restaurants and shit like that?
It's available for sale. I don't know.
I
Matt,
get it.
100% yes or 100% no, proving that my hypocrisy knows no bounds. I have used the Hardcore Carnivore everyday carry steak knife in the past 30 days.
Like John keeping my streak, I think we're ready. 100% yes, you have.
All right. And the answer, one of you have given the right answer. And the answer is no. I swear I can ask this every goddamn month and somebody says yes. I mean, I still can't get my mind. I can't get my mind past doing it. Just can't
It
do
has to
it.
be
But
barbecue clean.
I know. Barbecue clean.
Here's the
but
question. How
it ain't clean
long
enough.
did you carry it, though?
I carry it every day in my pocket. I have it every day. It's right there. Every restaurant I go to, I could perfectly whip it out and use it to cut steak or chicken or whatever the hell I'm getting. But my OCD tendencies don't allow me to do that. Barbecue clean is not good enough for me when it comes to knives. All right, that brings a wrap to the 100% Assurity questions, but we still have time for a little bit of promotion here. So, Rashid, what would you like to promote on the way up?
If you're listening and you're across the pond, come check me out at Meatopia next month. I'm going to be there in London for a good stint. So come grab some grub. Have a good time.
All right, and we appreciate you coming on here, Rashid. John, what are we promoting tonight?
As always, the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less. New episode this Friday. Get it wherever you get your favorite podcast. Just search the Barbecue Central show and subscribe.
And we're 8 shy away from episode 400, John, if you can believe it. Sam, what are we promoting tonight?
I don't know. Let's go with we're starting 30 Days of Eggs on my Instagram starting Monday. Every day I will post the egg dish that I made for breakfast that morning. And the first one is a great one. By the way, it's crazy. You'll probably hate it because you hate so many things, but whatever.
Matty boy, what are we
30
promoting
Days of
tonight?
Eggs. I'm the cooking guy.
If you're in the west side of Nashville, Tennessee, come on out to Pegram to Blinky's Offset Barbecue, open 4 days a week, and check out soon to be launched a new whole hog menu because apparently I'm into cooking whole hogs now.
All right.
Wow.
So just to the
That's
right of me
impressive.
is Rashid Phillips, and to the right of him is John Solberg, Michigan. And below me, Sam, the cooking guy, who you see in 2 weeks' time for his normal monthly segment, and the embedded correspondent from Tennessee, Matt Osmond. Gents, appreciate you joining me here this evening, and we will talk to you again down the road. There they go, the embedded correspondents. We're a little over, but that was worth it, especially as Rashid Phillips took everybody to task there on the Traeger side of things here. So I am all caught up on the business aspect here, so we can remove this and we can get ready to head out. All the way back in the first hour, we had a 14 and 35 past the first hour segment with the Vice President of Marketing at Micallef Cigars, Amanda Micallef. And then in the second hour, we had Embedded Correspondents sitting in for Doug Scheiding. We had a Rashid Phillips sitting in for a Rusty Monson. We had a Sam the Cooking Guy. And then we had our typical Michigan embedded correspondent John Solberg sitting in, and a Matt Osmond from Tennessee sitting in as well as both of them normally do. Looking forward to having both Rusty and Doug back in August. Big show planned for you next week. It's a bonus month. We have 5 weeks in this month of Tuesdays. And then we'll click over into August at that point. So, how do I always leave you? September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. Until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. This is your program host and proud U.S. American Greg Rempe saying, "Oh, this is nice."
Ooh, this is nice.
Hi, this is Bobby Rempe from Cleveland, Ohio, and you're listening to Barbecue Central.